Bienvenue! Oh, you're new here. Come in, come in. I'm so glad you found us. Here, let me show you around. The kettle's already on, so we have a few minutes and I can actually do this properly because I know what it's like to find a show and not quite know what you're walking into, what it's going to ask of you, whether it's for you, whether you'll be comfortable here. So let me just tell you what we do. Every morning, I'm here. That's the first thing. Every single morning, there's something going on. It changes with the week, with the season, with whatever is sitting on the counter demanding attention. But the shape of the morning is always the same rooms in the same order, and you'll always know where you are. Let me take you through it. The first thing I do every morning after the kettle, after I've opened at least one window, is come to the hearth. This is where the day begins in earnest. The hearth is about what are we doing today? Not in a calendar sense, not tasks and meetings. I mean, what are we paying attention to today? What small, achievable thing is waiting for us? It changes constantly. That's the whole point of it. One morning I come in and there are lemons on the counter, 3 of them, more than I need for anything, and the hearth becomes, what shall we do with these? Another morning, it's a drawer I've been walking past for 2 weeks pretending I can't see it. Sometimes it's a book that's been sitting in the same chair since I bought it, looking at me. Hot chocolate on the stove in January, a bunch of tulips that need a vase in April, strawberries in June, watermelon on the cutting board in July, a half-finished knitting project in September, pumpkin bread cooling in October, gingerbread in December, fir branches that need arranging, a seed packet left on the windowsill. Whatever is actually happening in the house today, that is the hearth. The hearth is an invitation, and here's what I love about it. It's not my kitchen, it's yours. Whatever is sitting on your counter right now, whatever is waiting in the drawer, whatever season is pressing itself against your windows, that's the hearth. We tend it together, wherever we each are. So when I say, let's find a use for whatever today has brought us, I mean it. Your morning, your season, your hearth. After the hearth, we go to the library. I love this segment. I know I'm supposed to be measured and professional about all of them equally, but I won't pretend. The library is where I'm happiest. Every morning, I share something I've been reading. Sometimes a novel, sometimes a poem, sometimes a single paragraph that stopped me mid-cup. It's not a review, it's more like, you know how sometimes you read something and you want to immediately read it to the person nearest you? It's that. It's me reading it to you because you're the nearest person. This morning, since it's your first time here, I want to share the one I come back to most often. Marcel Proust from In Search of Lost Time, the most French of all French sentences, I think, which is saying something. The only real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. I've carried that for years. He isn't talking about travel. He isn't talking about gardens or estates or any particular house. He's talking about the quality of attention you bring to wherever you already are. The idea that you could live in the same 4 walls for 20 years in one morning because the light is doing something, or you've been reading, or the season has turned without your noticing, you walk through the familiar hall and see it entirely new. That's what this show is. Every morning, a slightly different pair of eyes for the house you're already in. Your windowsill, your Tuesday, the particular quality of whatever light you have right now. That is the estate. Not this one, yours. The house has nothing to do with it. That's what the library is here for. Not to teach you anything, just to hand you a slightly better pair of eyes for the morning. Oh, come through here. Actually, this might be my favorite room to introduce. The ballroom. Every single morning after the library, I come in here and I put on a piece of music and I stop. That's it. That's the whole thing. I put on the music and I stop moving and I stop planning and I stop whatever low-grade worrying has been passing itself off as thinking, and I let the music do what the music does. While it plays, you can write. Some mornings I write. Nothing for anyone, just the first thoughts of the morning finding their way out. You can make your list for the day if that helps you feel ready for it, or you can simply sit. Sitting is harder than it sounds and worth attempting regularly. This morning, we're going to try it together. Do you see what I mean? Whatever that does to the morning, that small particular clearing, that's why we come in here every day. That piece of music will be different tomorrow, but the ballroom is always waiting for us. Now, I have to tell you about the Nursery, and I should warn you that it's a slightly odd name for a segment, and I've been asked about it more than once. I can only say it's stuck, and I've grown rather fond of it, and changing it now would feel like losing something I didn't know I needed. The Nursery is a small moment, a memory, or something I noticed, or a fragment from motherhood or childhood that felt worth keeping. It goes like this. This morning it's this. I have a child who asks questions the way other people breathe, constantly, naturally, with no particular effort. Most of the questions I can answer, but occasionally one arrives that stops me completely. This week it was this. Why do you love the things you love? Just that. No context, standing in the kitchen mid-morning, shoes on the wrong feet. I didn't have an answer, and I still don't really. I stood there and thought about it long after she'd moved on to something else. That question is still sitting with me. Why do we love the things we love? The lemons, the particular light at this hour, a line from George Eliot. Why those and not other things? I don't know, but I notice I do love them, and I think noticing is most of the work. You don't need to have children to know what I mean. Anyone who has ever been stopped in the middle of an ordinary morning by a question they couldn't answer, that's the Nursery. Now, here's where I show you the shape of the week, because this is where the estate becomes a true daily companion and not just a morning show you dip in and out of. Every day, we're in a different room. The room shapes the morning, and once you know the rhythm, you'll find you look forward to particular days for particular reasons. I do, even now. Let me walk you through them. Monday, we're in the washroom. The week starts here, always. There's something about Monday that calls for it. The washroom is about restoring order, clearing surfaces, resetting the house after the weekend's looseness. It's never dramatic, it's never a project. It's the quiet pleasure of beginning the week with something in order. Clean linens on the shelf, a window opened, one surface made new. Monday in the washroom is the best kind of beginning. Small, achievable, and genuinely satisfying. Tuesday, we're in the dressing room. This is the most personal room in the estate, and I'm slightly self-conscious every time I take you in there. Tuesday is about beauty and personal care, how to wear the season. The pleasure of getting dressed is something more than a task. We talk about hair, fragrance, accessories, the small feminine details that are easy to overlook when the morning is rushed. Tuesday is a reminder that tending to yourself is not vanity, it's care, and there's a difference. Wednesday is in the Atelier, the making room. This is where I'm most myself, and also where I lose the most listeners who come in convinced that they are not crafty people. I understand. I am gently persistent on this point. The Atelier is not for people who are already good at making things. It's for people who want to make something small and lasting. For themselves, for their home, for someone they love. We work with whatever is available. The point is the making, not the result. Thursday is the kitchen. Always food, always something to make or taste or think about eating slowly. A recipe, a seasonal ingredient, a way of approaching nourishment as generosity rather than fuel. Thursday is warm and abundant, and I would like it to smell of something baking, if that's at all possible for audio. Friday is the parlor. Books, films, music, things worth reading and watching and listening to. The week opening into the weekend. The parlor is the most sociable room in the estate, full of recommendations, full of conversation, full of the pleasure of sharing something good with someone who might love it too. Saturday is the garden, and the gates open wide. Saturday can be a walk around the neighborhood or a trip somewhere you've been meaning to go for 3 years. It can be the garden itself, which is sufficient some mornings. The point is to get past the gates, to see what the world is doing today, to remember that the estate is not the full extent of things. And Sunday. Sunday is the morning room, right at the top of the house, and you have to climb for it. Sunday moves differently than every other day. Slower, more interior, more spacious. The morning room is where we rest and reflect. There's a scripture or a piece of wisdom, and we sit with it. There's no task, no project, no plan. Only the quality of what comes when you're willing to be still long enough to receive it. Sunday is the room I actually think I love the most, though I suspect you're not supposed to have favorites. And lastly, just as every other day, there's a letter that I want to answer before we close because it arrived this week and I've been thinking about it. This person writes, I found your show recently and I love the idea of it. I've been listening and there's something I can't quite put down, but I'm not sure it's for me. My mornings aren't like this. I'm rushing out the door, or the children are chaos, and nothing feels slow or beautiful. Is this still for me? Is the estate for someone like me? Yes. Absolutely yes, without any qualification. Here's what I want you to understand. The estate is not a house you have to have. It's not a morning you have to recreate. It's not asking you to get up earlier or light candles at 6 a.m. or fold your linens in a particular way. The estate is a way of paying attention to whatever morning you actually have. The lemons on your counter, the chaos of your school run, the 5 minutes before anyone else wakes up when it's just you and the dark and a cup of something warm. The quick 10 minutes on your lunch break when you can finally sit down. That's where the estate lives, in those actual minutes, in whatever is real and present and yours. You have all the rooms. They may not look like anything in particular. They may be a studio flat or a rented terrace or a house where things are broken and you're getting to them when you can. None of that changes what's available inside them. The beauty the estate offers is not visual. It's the beauty of attention. And attention requires nothing except the willingness to pay it. It is available on the most ordinary Tuesday morning in the most ordinary house to whoever decides to notice what's there. You have every business being here. The door is always open. So that's the estate. That's what we do every morning. The hearth in the library, the ballroom in the nursery, the room of the day, the letterbox, and then this, the closing bell, and the door at the end of it, and you stepping back out into whatever morning is actually waiting for you. I'm so glad you came today, truly. I hope you come back tomorrow and the day after that. The door is always the same door. The room will have changed. Monday we reset in the washroom. Sunday we're at the top of the house in the morning room. But the gate is always open and you are always expected. Whatever the morning is asking of you today, I hope there's a moment inside it where you put the list down and notice the room you're actually in. The real one, with its particular light and its unfinished corner and the thing on the counter you keep meaning to deal with. That room. Take good care of yourself.